Call to order the Mayor and City Council meeting for the month of January 2020. Ask you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Fuller.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Let the records reflect that all council members, with the exception of Mayor Pro Tem Foster, are present and accounted for. We're going to start with review and approval of the minutes from the December 4th, 2019, December 9th, 2019 meetings, as well as the December 4th closed session. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion regarding the minutes? Amendments, corrections, or otherwise? All right, hearing none, it has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the December 4th and December 9th, 2019 regular meetings, as well as the December 4th, 2019 closed session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. They have passed. Thank you. I have requested from our police department that Chief Etzler, as well as other administrative officers, come in this evening and present to us kind of some of the progress they've made over the past several months. With that, I'm simply going to hand it over to Chief Etzler to give us some information.
Thank you. First of all, good evening. And on behalf of the entire department, I would like to thank the Mayor and Council for having us here this evening. I would also like to not only thank the Mayor and Council, but all city personnel for their continued support for not only myself, but the entire department over the past year. That being said, I'd like to introduce to my command staff. To my left is Lieutenant Brian Costello. Lieutenant Costello has been a member of the Taneytown Police Department for what will be 20 years in March of this year, and he will now be overseeing training and all special events. Lieutenant Costello assists with administrative duties as needed. Along with his responsibilities for our department, he is also a member of the Carroll County Crisis Response Team and participates in Camp Cops and the Carroll County Explorers Program. Our newest member of our command staff is on my right. He came on board with us in September of this past year, Major Bob Mitchell. Major Mitchell has 22 years of law enforcement experience and previously retired from the Anne Arundel County Sheriff's Office. During his 22-year career, he was a highly decorated officer and received a Silver Star for bravery in 2002. Major Mitchell brings with him extensive experience in patrol operations, narcotics investigations, and SWAT operations. Major Mitchell will be second in command, and among other administrative duties will be the Patrol Operations Commander and be in charge of the evidence for our department. With all that being said, I'd like to give you a brief update on our current operations at this time. As you all know, our staffing levels have been down since early last year. I'm pleased to inform you that we have hired 3 new officers who started the Maryland Police and Correctional Training Academy in Sykesville this past Monday. These 3 gentlemen were chosen after a rigorous background investigation was conducted. A general order was written instituting a new police officer selection process for our department. This process started back in July of 2019 and now not only follows all MPCTC requirements and standards, but includes a physical fitness test and a 5-year contract with the department. These items were added to our process in order to enhance quality of new hires and help with officer retention. We look forward to welcoming these 3 gentlemen to the department upon completion of the academy and field training in October of this year. As you all know, we've had a few other things go on this past year. An audit of our mandated training and training records was conducted by MPCTC, or Maryland Police and Training Commission. We received a letter from MPCTC dated October 31st, 2019, stating that all mandated training and records are now compliant for all officers. We will continue to provide all mandated training as required, along with creating new and continuing training opportunities as the schedule and funding allows. We also had an external inventory of our evidence room, which was conducted this past year by the city's outside auditor, DeLeon and Stang. The result of the inventory concluded that all evidence was accounted for, and in fact, we found a large amount of evidence that can be disposed of. So we've now put a new procedure in place for disposal of evidence and property upon adjudication of cases and retention requirements. The department has set up an account with an outside disposal company. It's Wheelabrator in Baltimore, Maryland, and is currently going through the evidence room and scheduling for that evidence or property to be disposed of. An external inventory of the department-owned property was also conducted this past year by the same auditor, DeLeon and Stang. The result of that inventory concluded that all departmental property was present and accounted for, including but not limited to all departmental weapons and ammo. Maryland State Police also conducted an audit of the 1033 weapons assigned to our department, and all were present and accounted for. During all these inquiries, it was decided to create an armory to store weapons and ammo in a separate location from the rest of the department property. This armory is already in place and will continue to have limited access moving forward. Along with all those, we have been making many numerous positive changes around the department in order to obtain and track pertinent information within the department. One of the changes we have been working on over the past couple months with the help of the city's IT department, Dan Dennis and Jacob Grunsel, will actually go live this coming Wednesday. Our reporting system has been working very well for us, but where it lacks is tracking the information regarding calls for service not requiring a report and everyday assignments that officers complete. This new system is going to help track calls for service, business checks, house checks, and traffic enforcement locations. This will help the administration track statistics in a more in-depth manner for our department and create better information to be used for prioritizing patrol areas and assignments. The IT department was very instrumental in the development of this system, and the department thanks them for all their hard work. We have also started using Power DMS, a new data management system for our department and the city, which will create better access to policies and procedures, training documentation, and scheduling for the department while providing better accountability for these items in the process. Also, this past year, we have started tackling the process of updating the department's policies and procedures. This is an extensive process which started last year and included a comprehensive outside review of our current policies and procedures by an outside agency, along with ongoing legal review by our city attorney, Jay Gullo, and attorney Kevin Karpinski. The updated version of our policies and procedures is underway and will be available for review later this calendar year. Also, the current administration will be attending all law enforcement related meetings in the county when available in an effort to reestablish working relationships with all our law enforcement partners. This administration will continue working closely with the Maryland State Police on large-scale incidents or crimes requiring extra manpower or special investigative units. In closing, moving forward, the department and I will be looking for the Mayor and Council's continued support in the future as we look to enhance the department's capabilities and service to the community. We now have in place good quality young officers and solid veteran leadership. As always, we will strive to provide the safest environment possible for all the citizens and visitors to the city of Taneytown. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you coming in this evening. I will ask council if they have any questions for Chief Etzler or Lieutenant Costello or Major Mitchell. Any come to mind?
I have one. Could you, and forgive me if this is inappropriate, but could you elaborate on a little bit of the plans to expand facilities? Facilities
What are you talking?
in the CIP?
We're not discussing CIP this evening.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll leave that for another time. Anything additional from council?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
All right. Chief, appreciate the hard work you've put in, as well as Lieutenant Costello and Major Mitchell. like I say, you've made me proud by putting you in this position. I think it's a great thing for the city. And I greatly appreciate all the hard work of you gentlemen as well as the officers on our department. So again, thank you for being here this evening, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, gents.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, as this is a combined meeting, we didn't have a workshop this month, I will be entertaining public comment pertaining to both agenda and non-agenda items at this time. Does anyone from the gallery wish to make any comments regarding agenda or non-agenda items this evening?
Barbara Heltebrotto, East Baltimore Street, Taneytown. First of all, I'd like to thank Judy Fuller, Councilman Fuller, for all her hard work in making our town look so pretty over Christmas. I was in Westminster, and I thought, what happened down there? They didn't have hardly anything. And you drive through Taneytown, it was beautiful. Out at the park, it was pretty. I know the squirrels were giving it some problems, but it was very nice. Secondly, unfortunately, Mayor Pro Tem Foster isn't here tonight, but I'd like to thank her for helping to get that, what's it called? Manhole. Manhole fixed in front of our house. They finally finished it about a week and a half ago, was the last process. Wow. And it's been so nice not to hear these loud bangs when the trucks go over and everything. So I appreciate all her hard work she did with that. And my third thing is, oh, they're still here. I would like to personally thank the police department for all they do here in town. I think we have a very good police department. They're approachable, they're friendly, and they make everybody feel like they're one of us, which they are, and I think they do an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Heltebrotto. Any additional comments from the gallery for the evening? All right. Hearing none, we shall move on. I will now ask the council if they have any conflicts of interest on any agenda items set before them this evening.
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Up for adoption this evening, we have Resolution 2020-01, the first one of this grand new year, and that is our monthly water allocation. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2020-01?
So moved.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the water allocation? All right, hearing none, it's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2020-01, water allocation for January 2020. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. It has been approved. City Manager report. Acting City Manager Weeprick, do you have anything for us this evening?
Just a couple quick updates in addition to the written report there. Our new Parks and Rec Director, Lorena Vaquer, did begin today, so she's looking forward to getting up to speed. We've got her set up in the system and everything, so one less vacancy for the city, so that's some good news. Some news that's not particularly good. We have been talking for quite some time about the belt filter press at the wastewater treatment plant. It went down last week, so we are moving forward with the efforts on the RFP to get that project going. But as most of you know, the piece of equipment is very old, so when pieces break, we sometimes have to have new parts fabricated for it because no one stocks equipment this old. So we have come up with a workaround in the event that we do run out of storage capacity while the press is down. So everything's under control, but just wanted to make you aware of that. So
Do we have a
hopefully this
time?
will be-
Do we have a timetable for the RFP to go out?
I'm waiting for a response from CDM Smith. They initially thought they were going to have it to us early this month, but I've not seen it yet.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for a response from our liaison right now.
Okay, I assume it's been stressed to them now, the priority of,
Yes,
okay,
yes, we advised them that the press is down,
okay.
and that's about it.
That's all you have? All right, are there any questions regarding the city manager report from council.
Lorena, will we have a chance to meet her? Where's her office? I mean, is she
She's going to be in
stuff
the
right now?
annex.
Okay.
So we can certainly bring her by, see if she can come in for one of our workshops or something, so everybody gets a chance to meet her. And she will be at the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting Wednesday night as well. So she'll have a chance to meet the advisory board. And I understand the Taneytown Area Athletic Association's been pushed off for a month, so meeting those folks will have to wait a little bit, but didn't want to throw her in too deep on the first day, so.
Right, and I'll kind of mention, let's try not to inundate her with a whole lot until she's really kind of up to speed with everything. I know this Friday there's plans of myself, Councilman Hale, and the advisory board chair, Kelly Bowie, of taking Lorena out on kind of another tour of the parks to get her kind of familiar with what the advisory board's been talking about, and kind of get a plan for the vision of the city. But yeah, we will have her join us probably for a workshop in the very near future.
Whoever talks to her next, would you please extend a welcome to her from us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jim, could you send out her contact information to the council?
Yes.
Email, cell, please. Thanks, sir.
Any other questions? Hearing none, are there any questions regarding departmental reports that were in your packet? All right, with that, I'll go to Mr. Gullo for a legal report. What do you have for us, sir?
Good evening. There is no written report due to the holidays and the compressed meetings that we had, but there are two updates that I wanted to give you on pending litigation. The first item is something very familiar to you. We ended the year last year on a high note with the city prevailing in the Frazier versus the City of Taneytown lawsuit in Maryland's highest court. So the Court of Appeals ruled in the city's favor, and you thought the matter was over. But we start 2020, the matter is not over. Robin Frazier has filed a motion for reconsideration that the Maryland highest court reconsider their decision and filed a 15-page brief, which we answered, saying that it should not be reconsidered. And so the court will consider the reconsideration, but there will not be oral arguments and a briefing schedule. And it's very unlikely that they're going to reconsider the decision that they've already reached. But we thought the matter was over, yet it still goes on. So I will keep you updated on that.
Any idea on a timetable for such a thing, or is it whenever they get around to it?
I would imagine it's whenever they get around to it, probably prior to their spring term, so they'll want to get it done before they deal with the new cases that they have to deal with. So, the second issue is much more positive. If you recall, it's been over a year that we filed a lawsuit to acquire the property at Trevanion Terrace. Trevanion Terrace has a stormwater management pond, that's putting it really broadly, but the weeded area back there that was basically in default with the developer, and the city wanted to acquire that, couldn't acquire it, so we came up with a way to do it by buying the outstanding taxes on it at a tax sale, and then holding that for the period of time that we needed to hold it, and then filing the lawsuit against basically all the defunct property owners, because they're all corporations. We are hopeful for the final judgment awarding us title within the next month. And so that's very fortuitous, because that is one of the major projects that we're doing for our NPDS permit upgrade as well. So that is another one that we can finally possibly take off the books, and I'll let you know when that actually happens. And then the last one is on a more somber note. As you are aware, the city is going to be a witness in the upcoming trial for the damage and the incident that occurred here at City Hall. The trial is for the first week of March. Subpoenas have been already issued to certain city staff and city officials. And just remember that we really aren't going to make any public comments on this during the trial, and that we're prepared to act as a proper witness moving forward on that matter. This is a criminal trial, so at the end of the criminal trial, we'll see how that shakes out and where we go from there as regarding the massive damages that the city suffered on this. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gullo. Are there any questions from the council regarding the legal report this evening? All right, we shall move on. We have nothing for old business. Coming into new...
Mr. Mayor, if
I'm sorry, Councilman Vigliotti. What can I do for you?
I may just briefly bring up, I've begun speaking, well, as everybody remembers, we instituted a policy for holiday parking through passes over the holidays. I've started speaking to some of the business owners, and all of the feedback so far about that is positive. So I hope by next month to be able to have some kind of a fuller report about the impact of that. But I just wanted everybody to know that the businesses I've talked to so far have been very grateful and very positive about that program. And that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Back in the new business, we will start with the monthly financial report. Do I have a motion to approve the financial report in your binders?
So moved?
And do we have a second?
Second. Second.
Thank you, sir. Is there any discussion regarding our monthly financial report? Report. All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve the monthly financial report. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed may say nay. Thank you very much. Moving into the accounts payable, I'll be searching for the same, a motion to approve.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion regarding the accounts payables? It has been moved and seconded to approve the accounts payables. All in favor may signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Very good. Email I previously sent out told you we will not be discussing the police department's CIP this evening. I felt that it was not quite ready for our discussion or consideration now, so we'll be looking for that in the future. But under new business, we also have from Acting City Manager regarding Carroll County Transit Grant Support. They came to us, requested a letter of support for their grant application regarding the transit plan. Mr. Weeper, do you have anything to add to that before we discuss?
No, this is pretty much an annual routine for us.
Yep. Do I have a motion to approve the sending of said letter?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. Is there any discussion regarding the letter? All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the sending of the letter to support the county in their grant application for the annual transportation plan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And those opposed may say nay. Thank you very much. Anything else under new business we would like to consider this evening? No? Then I will seek Councilmember reports. I'm going to start with Councilwoman Fuller, please. What do you have to report today? Hopefully you're getting more rest than you did previously.
Yeah, not really. No, I was out there Saturday trying to start the cleanup. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that contributed and helped out. We had a lot of donations, and I know that, you know, we say all the time in these meetings what the long-term goal is, but I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to pass out a little bit more information so people are more aware what our long-term goal is to be able to put back into the park and have it, you know, kind of take care of itself and get the splash pad, ice rink, you know, that whole thing going.
Right.
So, yeah, looking forward to moving forward on that. Don't a complete blank on anything else. So, Joe, you're up. Which way? Oh, no, you can talk about that. If you want. It's more Diane thing. There's a dance that they're having in February. I don't have anything.
February
information.
8th.
Thank you.
Yes, down
February
at
8th.
Pipe Creek. Yep.
Sounds like it's going to be a good time. So we'll have to, everybody look on Facebook, find the information. I was not prepared just
Councilman Vigliotti, do you have anything for us this evening?
Just three very brief things. First of all, I want to congratulate the police department and thank every resident of the city and the surrounding area who participated in December's Pack the Police Car, where officers, members of the city council, the mayor, stationed themselves outside of Food Line and Kenny's here in town, and through the course of the day of this event raised over 2 tons of food to be distributed to local families in need. I also want to note that
It was a little more than that.
Was more than-
It was close to 5 tons.
Oh,
That,
okay.
that was the estimate we came up with, yeah.
That was the, okay.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected. Close to 5 tons of food. all
It's
right.
only important because we were challenged to do better than New Windsor, so we do have to clarify.
I'll let
that.
you handle that part.
Well,
This year again, the city of Taneytown and the Taneytown Police Department will be joining forces in Relay for Life. Anybody who is interested in participating in a fuller and more direct way, please do let us know. Brian Schaefer and I will be attending the inaugural meeting of this year's Relay for Life tomorrow. Again, anyone who is interested in directly volunteering or participating with us, please do let us know. Relay for Life, I believe this year will be June 1st or 2nd. I'll double check on the date, but it comes up a lot faster than you think. One final thing, I just want to personally thank Councilwoman Judy Fuller again for all of her hard work. I have heard nothing but positive and wonderful comments about the Christmas lights and the holiday displays, and I look forward to seeing that continue to grow. And thank you to you and everybody who is involved in that. And for me, that's it for me.
thank you, Councilman. Councilman Hale, do you have anything for us this evening?
I do, sir. I'm so excited we have a new Parks and Rec director on board. We're strengthening the police department, and that's all going well. Thank you, Bob, for your many years of service to that division. Judy, I thought about you the other night. I was pulling down some Christmas lights. 60 lights on the Strand. They're 1 year old. And I'm pulling them down, and I keep them lit, while I'm pulling them down, wrapping them gently. Boom. I could not get it to work, so I thought about the. So in
It's
any
not
case,
easy.
I'm sure it's not. So in the trash they go. So good job on that. Thank you. That's all, sir.
Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman Haynes, what do you have for us this evening?
I have one thing, but before I get to that, I want to echo the gratitude for the hard work you put in. I hope that this is something that will stand the test of time. Hopefully this can, really evolve into something. But I spent the past few weeks handling several complaints about water and more recently snow removal. Now I know here this might not go that far, but I do want to take this opportunity to note the fact that if you live in any recent development like Meads Crossing or Creekside, for the most part, snow removal is the responsibility of the developer and not the city. And there are certain parameters and criteria that have to be met, more notably the weathering of roads before the city assumes responsibility for snow removal. So I know this past snow, a lot of the now residents of Meads Crossing were very upset that their snow was not plowed on time, but unfortunately there was nothing that we could actually do about that. So, but that's all from me.
All right, thank you, Councilman. That's also good to note, considering I saw that this Saturday they're saying 5 to 8 inches of snow.
Wow.
So hopefully enjoy that and be safe. I'll talk kind of briefly about how things have been going here over the past month. It was very exciting to be a part of the first Wreaths Across America program here in Taneytown. It was a very cold and wet, rainy day. Councilman Vigliotti, Councilman Hale joined me to experience that event and to see just the love and support that people have there in regard to honoring the fallen, honoring the heroes that we've had from this area. I'm excited to see that expand into other cemeteries in Taneytown, but that was especially just a great event to be a part of. And it's kind of nice that it happens around the holidays, obviously because they're wreaths, but also it helps put a little bit into perspective what these people don't have at the holidays that we may take for granted, having our friends, having our family around. And they've suffered tremendous loss from people who served our country with great bravery. So just keep those in mind. It'll be great to see that extend a little more around the city, and I'm sure that it will. Babylon Vault did a great job of putting it together for different cemeteries in the county. I believe there were 14 this year in the county that they did it for. The holiday season came and went. I personally enjoyed it very much. Again, Councilman Fuller, I won't go into detail, but great job. The schools with their children's courses coming in and entertaining the group, having Santa come in, it was a very nice evening. The weather really worked out perfectly for us, and that that whole event just continues to grow. And I think Taneytown really has something there to be proud of, and we have people dedicated to making it happen. So keep an ear out for what's needed for next year, and hopefully others can chip in and continue growing that program. We're in a new year. It's now 2020. Hard to imagine. I feel like 2019 went by very quickly for us, but we're starting it off in a great way. With the new Parks and Rec Director starting today, the report from Chief Etzler definitely kind of puts your mind at ease with what happened just a year ago in this city regarding the police department to where we are now. They have taken tremendous strides. I appreciate him stepping up and doing what he has done. I appreciate the officers backing him up and supporting him. Major Mitchell moving down to the department to lend a hand. I think his expertise has gone a long way down there. And Lieutenant Costello really helping out and chipping in with everything. So our police department's in an amazing place. I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. And gentlemen, you have our never-ending support for the work that you're doing, and please relay that to the officers as well. They continue their engagement on Facebook, which I know people enjoy. I think that's just another thing that helps the residents of Taneytown be in touch with our police department and the city as a whole. We didn't have a workshop Wednesday night, reason being it was the opening day of the state legislature. They will now be in session for 90 days from that date, whatever we are in now. Mayor Pro Tem Foster and I were down for a legislative committee meeting where we discussed the legislative priorities for the municipalities in the state of Maryland. Those being, we're focusing on renewing highway user revenues. It kind of gets a little dull after so many years of talking about HURs, but it's something the state kind of took away from us and we want it back. So we're fighting hard for that, as well as kind of fighting with the state to make sure that we can maintain control over small cell projects that may come our way. You'll be hearing more about that as the session goes on. There's be a lot of meetings for that. We also attended a reception from MML for state legislators. Kind of joined, talked to all of us there. Councilman Fuller joined us down there as well in Annapolis. And it was a nice evening just talking to different legislators as well as people around the state, other mayors, other council members, staff, things like that. It's a really neat opportunity to do such things. For February, for the workshop, I will probably not be in attendance. I'll ask Mayor Pro Tem Foster to do so. The Maryland Mayor Association Conference will be occurring around that time, so I'll most likely be in Annapolis. So I want to give council a heads up for that. If you want to plan anything devious in my absence, this is your warning. Aside from that, thank you everyone for a tremendous 2019. I'm looking forward to a great 2020. That goes for the council, city staff, as well as the residents of Taneytown. You guys are doing an awesome job, and I'm very, very happy to be here. We will. That's a good idea. Talk about the food drive. Mayor Rupp from New Windsor challenged us. He does a food drive every year. He said he raises about 3 tons of food. He does it on a Friday all day long. So we countered with using our police food drive, packed the police car, and I believe we estimated about 5 tons of food for that. It was an amazing day. A little breezy, a little cold. At the end of the day, we went to the elementary school to separate everything, and lo and behold, we get there. Councilman Fuller was there helping getting everything separated. Councilman Vigliotti was over at Food Lion all day. I spent most of the day at Kenny's, a little bit at Food Lion, just talking to people coming in. It was fascinating to see people come out with their carts full of food that they just give to the police to put in there. And then they walk away with their one little bag of things that they bought for themselves. And it's that sort of commitment to this community that really makes your heart smile. It's people who care about others. And that's what that event's all about. You know, it's showing that people care and providing for those who are in need. And around the holidays, it's great. There's rumors of possibly a spring edition coming up. So keep an ear out for that. It was successful, and obviously the people in need aren't just in need at the holidays. It's really year round. So anything additional is always much appreciated. With that, I have nothing additional, so I will call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. Thank you all and enjoy your evening.